This morning at 7:30, let me say kia ora to our friends. Sorry, just 2 points between the All Black and France last night, guys.
You only need 1 point.
You only needed one. I am a man with a divided spirit. I've had two of my family play for the All Blacks, and my grandsons are being trained in France right now because Joe Rokodoko is a coach with Racing 92. And I spent 3 years of my young life in New Zealand where they say it's rugby, racing, and beer once upon a time. But big kia ora, welcome to the church on behalf of the eldership here. Yesterday I had an experience where, and youth, that was great. I thought Kesha was sick because I saw thank everybody for yesterday at about 7:30 this morning, and I didn't see any pictures because Kesha is a real pro in photography. And I said, oh, well done. No pictures? And then, about 32 pictures came down, and it was such a pleasing because we could not be here yesterday. Life is busy. We had to attend to a traditional function in Singatoka, which I also have not attended in my life, where a family presents the children to the village, to the family in the village. It's called Kauna Mataningwane, taking the children's face to the village of their father, their line. And this happened in Singatoka on the banks of that wonderful big river. And it happened in a village where there are ties here. We've got those married to the Nine Northern family connected in there, to the Tonawai family connected in there, and the Politini family are connected in there as well. So it was a gathering. We left here at 9 and we got home at about 7. I was a little groggy, but I have to sit at the top like the king of Tonga, because that's where I come from, because I am the patriarch of one side of the family. And it was wonderful to sit in our tradition, to listen to those wonderful stories that emanated. And the pastor who was sitting beside me asked him, I see a church there. He said, there are 5 churches in this village. The village is Lawai. If you go up the Singatoka Valley, it's about 2 kilometers from the town. And that's the Tonawai side of the village. He said, there are 5 churches here. There's the Methodists, there's the Catholics, there's the JWs, Souls for Jesus, and I believe there was one more. And I thought, how nice to come and sit on now, bottoms on the floor like we do in this country. For 9, 5, 4, we left there after 4 to sit on the mats, irrespective of what our roles and responsibilities and positions are outside, where you come from, where you've been. We sit there, and I thought, how this is such a humbling environment. And we heard stories. And I asked them this question: does the river, so the Singatoka River is one of our biggest rivers, Singatoka, and then you've got the Navu River, and then you've got the Reo River, the 3, and the Bar River, 4 big rivers. Does it ever get to up here? Does it over? It's a huge river. And they said, yes, sometimes in the past it does come up and so on. Singatoka town is flooded. And we know the old Singatoka Bridge was washed away in a flood years ago. Thanks to the European Union, they put up another. And of course, we know that Singatoka and Nanrunga are a rugby country. And so because I'm from Nandi, they connected with me from my rugby days and were able to say, we want a Fair Brother trophy only sitting on this side of the river. It's either Nanrunga or Nandi. Yeah, that's the pride that's in our rugby here. Yeah, it's the Fair Brother is the equivalent of your, what's your big trophy? Sorry? Yeah. It's like that sort of thing. But it was so good to sit and listen and to have God's man there as well and to hear the stories of our values and so on. And thus we missed what went on here yesterday. But Jonathan and your leadership, we're encouraging leadership in this community church of ours here, our young people, to stand up in leadership, because we all pass on, we all pass through. And it's great to have the encouragement of a team that's come from New Zealand. It is so good. The Brethren Church started from outreach from New Zealand back in 1935, when Mr. John Foster Crane was encouraged to come up by a church in New Zealand. And his toil, he was my mentor as a kid growing up. His wife taught me Sunday school, and at the grammar school, which belonged to the British before independence, we had what was called scripture on Thursday afternoons for 40 minutes. And his wife, Mrs. Gwen Crane, had me in classes there. So New Zealand brethren and Fiji brethren are very close indeed. And it's great to see the relationship continue. So we are very grateful this morning for opportunities in life to appreciate the big picture, the big God that we serve, who has given us our lands and countries. You know, we look around and see the big countries. We have a lot of Chinese here who come from this great economic power of the world, and they have been with us for a while. They have their own service in the morning. They're learning to speak English. And they are very ambitious people who live by the sweat of their brow. Commerce is something that is very close to their hearts. And I know we can learn a lot from them, as we have, and also from the country of my wife in Samoa, where there's Chinese presence. In the Solomons, the Chinese are the backbone of the economy there, from my recent experience there. So we're very grateful to God for all these things in life that we can participate in Monday to Saturday. A few weeks ago, we said Sunday is just a day when we get to a huddle. Monday to Saturday, the game's out there. It's right out there in the community. And so we are grateful for our huddle here today, and for those of you who are here for the first time, a warm welcome. And we look forward to hearing from our brother from New Zealand later on.